Hi everyone, welcome back. Yeah, another day in lockdown and another tutorial about Matplotlib. So the topic we are going to cover today is to learn how to set a tick. Something as you can see in this figure, where we have in the x-axis, we can set the tick random from in a certain range, and by default Matplotlib will return automatically arbitrary range in the y-axis as well as in the x-axis. This depends on the data that you have. However, we can use first certain function in Matplotlib to modify the range and also to replace the numeric label by some string labels like in the rightmost figure. Okay, now we will learn how to do it in Matplotlib. So the first thing that we need to do as usual is to load the library. Here I'm using Matplotlib and NumPy. And here is the link, original link for Matplotlib website, something like this one. So certainly you can explore and learn more for yourself. I think this website provides very detailed and careful instruction so that when you are stuck when plotting figure, things like how to set a grid or labeling, you can certainly visit and check more for yourself. Okay, the next step is that we are going to make a fake data. So here I create x values, which is the from -2 pi to 2 pi with 1000 equal spacing between them. So we can check the shape and confirm that it is 1000. There's 1000 value inside this x-axis x array, and then we can create the y array by using a combination of side function. So this an exponential. So this is quite arbitrary for the purpose of demonstration. So it doesn't. You can only put numpy.side and remove the rest. It's up to you, but it doesn't matter for this tutorial. And then the next step is to plot the figure. So in the previous tutorial about Matplotlib, I already mentioned how we can use the plt.subplot to generate different figures or a subset of many panels inside one figure. So feel free to have a look at those tutorials if you are unsure about what this slide means to you. And the figure size here is 10 and 3. 10 stands for the length in the x-axis and 3 for the height here in the y-axis. So in order to plot a figure in Matplotlib, it's quite simple. For the first argument, we put the x array, and for the second argument, we put the y arrays as we can see in here. And as you can see here, it has a color magenta. So by specify color equal to M stand for magenta, and then the color of the light will be like a magenta color here. And LW is stand for lightweight, so how thick of the light will be on the image. As you can also set the title. So in this figure, as you can see, the range of x-axis is from minus 6.3 to 6.3 to minus 2 pi or 2 pi to 2 pi. So, and for the y-axis, it's not symmetric. So it's from minus 1.8 to 2.2. And then we want to modify this range and to make it something like symmetry for, let's say, from -3 to -3, things like in this figure. So in order to do that, we can specify using the command set yticks and put the number for -3, 0, and 3. So it will return you something like in the right figure, where we have a y value range from -3 to 3. And similarly, if you want to have more interval or the major locator is in an axis, we can set something like in the x-axis here, where we specify more interval, and we put -6, -3, 0, 3, and 6, so that when we plot the figure, there will be more interval in the x-axis. And then we can also make a final resolution grid, something like in the rightmost figure here. So as you can see, one of the in this figure, a new setup command line is this section. So I think one of the most important and interesting useful tool is this command line. For instance, so you can see here y-axis. So we will set the major locator is from -4 to 4. So it will show you a value from -4 to 4 here. And in this range, within this range, we can set the minor locator. So with a value of 16, this means that there will be a 16 interval small major minor locator inside this range. And certainly you can modify this number by 8, so it will reduce by half the number in y-axis. And then similarly for the x-axis, where we have a major locator is from -8 to 8, so that's why the value show you from -8 to 8 here. If you set the minor locator is 8, it means that every it will have interval of 1, and then to show the label of the value in x-axis and y-axis, I use the command set ytick, as you can see here. Just for convenience, I use numby.range. I put the number -4 to 4.5 with the incremental step of 0.5, so that just keep in mind that using this command, the last value does not count, and then it only go to +4. And similarly for the range for -8 to 8. So if I set the value 9 here, so it means that it's only go to 8 and the last value is excluded. So in order to turn on the grid, we just need to set a grid like this. So it will show you the grid as you can see in this two figure. And another cool feature is that, so in this section, in this figure, final figure, we have something like the rightmost figure here. In the x-axis, it doesn't labeling in by numeric numbers. It's labeling by label, something like instead of using the value of -6.3, we use the value the label of -2 times pi and 2 pi. So in order to do that in Matplotlib, we use this section of the code. So as you can see, the above section of the code is totally similar with the previous one. And then in order to set the label for this, we just need to set the xtick and the xtick labels, as you can see in here. So we will have a value within this range for the x-axis with the file number in here, and associated with those file numbers, we will set the label, as you can see in the x-axis from -2 pi. So in order to have pi in label in x-axis like this, we use this small section of letters. So it will return and print the -2 pi for you. Yeah, so we can also set the minor locator with the small point in here, as you can see. Yeah, so that is all for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions about this, and if you like it, please subscribe my YouTube channel too. Thank you very much.